Dream did things to me in the fight that Winter didn't do, that they legally cannot show on TV. I never said to production, not once did I ever say to production, I do not feel safe with Dream in the house. She cannot be here. Because they would be like, okay, bitch, go home. You know what I mean? Like, think about that. That never happened. I never said that to them.
Some more, I'm back, bitch, come test me. Y'all wanna hate, that's so ugly. Can't relate, that ain't my fault. What y'all have on last year, I bought. Competition, y'all just wishing to give my opinion, that's my mission. My first album topped the charts. Girl, be quiet so the show can start. M to the O to the N, say what? Side to the Mo to the knee, I'm her. I'm back. Bitch, Mona. Some more, Mona. Some more. M to the O to the N, say what? Side to the Mo to the knee, I'm high. Why?
What's going on, girl? I'm Mo to the Nut. Yeah, and I'm the ghetto queen on this YouTube scene, keeping it up so mean with the Gangsta Lean group. And I'm here with another BGC 16 girl. Girl, introduce yourself.
I am Kailie Bijou on Bad Girls Club Season 16.
Girl, I have to say, girl, this season is starting off crazy. Girl, but before we get all into the particular season, I want the audience and myself to get to know you just a little bit better, girl. So, when you was on the show, you was 21. Are you still 21?
No, my birthday was in August, so it just passed, so now I'm 22.
All right, getting a little older. Okay. So what's your zodiac sign, girl?
Oh, I'm a Virgo, but I definitely have Leo tendencies, so.
Oh. Girl, because I'm a Leo girl. And we some feisty bitches, girl. We feisty, girl. Ready to beat a bitch up, girl. So, I'm going to get the formalities out of the way. Why in the hell did you decide to go on Bad Girls Club, girl?
Well, okay. So, about a year and a half ago, I had originally applied to be on The Real World. And I couldn't go to the group interview, so I had emailed them and I said, hey, I'm sorry, like I actually have to work today, like I can't go to my interview. So like 7 months go by, and I checked my email after I had moved from Florida to New Hampshire. I move a lot. So when I get to New Hampshire, I check my email. It's about 2 weeks old, and it was asking me to fill out an audition, like whatever, asking me if I would be on the Bad Girls Club instead. So I was like, sure, whatever, I'll fill it out, even though it was 2 weeks late. So I ended up like getting a call immediately, and it was just like, boom. Like it was never like it was like really fast.
All right. Girl, so have you seen the Bad Girls Club before? Like, did you know anything about it?
Surprisingly, yes, I have. I've been watching the show since like 6th grade.
Girl! Girl, so with everything that's been, all the drama and stuff that you've seen on the show, girl, what made you think that you was bad enough to get on the show, girl?
I don't know. I thought that I could handle it. Like, I used to be, like, pretty, like, evil and mean, but I guess, like, I don't know, my heart got bigger. Like, I just feel bad being mean or horrible to people that have never treated me badly. So I guess, like, yeah, I didn't really belong there anymore, so I took myself out from that situation.
So what did your stepfather think about you going on the show, girl?
They asked me a million times before I left, like, are you sure this is what you really want to do? Are you sure you want to do it? And I was like, yeah, I'm already done. Like, I'm going to go to LA. I'm going to film. It's going to be fine.
Girl, so you get to call, you go out there, you flying out, or whatever the case may be. This your first time in LA?
Yeah, ever. First time I've ever left the East Coast.
Girl. How was your flight, girl? Did they do a connecting flight, or did you fly straight through?
I had a straight through flight, but I was drinking like my whole flight because it was 6 hours. So.
Girl, so how was you on the plane? Like, are you like a crazy drunk? But you like talking to people, telling them you was gonna be on the show?
No. I guess it depends on my situation, because sometimes I either get drunk, and if I'm like really comfortable and having a good time, I'm like loud and crazy and people can't control me. Or if I'm like in a certain situation, I'll drink and I'll get like really quiet and like to myself. So I was just chilling, to be honest. I met a guy that's gonna be on Chopped. He was pretty cool. So.
All right. Well, that's hot, girl. So you get to the show and you start to meet these bitches, girl, and you running into them one by one, girl. What's your first impression of Persuasion?
Well, she's very. I don't know what the word is for, but she's very like. Her presence is well known. Like, you know if Persuasion is in a room or not. So she was kind of like, at first, it seemed like she was like the head of the house, and she got mad because like we used to like call her mom and shit. So, but.
Okay. So what about Z? What was the vibe with Z when you first met her?
I don't know. At first, I was like, it was kind of weird. We kind of just like, there was never like any like beef or awkward moments between us. But I don't know. At first, it, like we kind of tiptoed around each other, not knowing if we were gonna like each other. So it was kind of just whatever. I mean, she seemed pretty cool, pretty chill. I didn't mind it really anybody like at first. So.
Right. Was there any one personality that just seemed a bit too much for you in the beginning?
Dreams.
Oh.
Tabitha's. Her personality, her everything is just too much for me to deal with.
Okay. So did y'all ever try to like be cool with her? Like before all the drama and all that shit happened, did you communicate with her?
Yeah. I mean, like we would talk and like we were cordial. It wasn't until like the nights that we saw when we were like going out when she was with the other girls that she was like kind of weird. But like if there was no cameras around, like she was just like hey, like like a normal fucking person. But
right.
Cameras do things to people.
Okay, so you're saying she was kind of like putting on for the cameras?
Ooh. 100%. Sorry.
Oh, girl. Well, girl, y'all all get to the house or whatever have you, and y'all there for the first day. Y'all loving each other, giving each other hugs. After Ryan, who else found their room first? Like found their bed and situation first after Ryan?
I did. I ended up going right into Ryan's room. Actually, me and her were originally roommates. So I ended up getting the very back bedroom, and she went back there too. So okay. I think Dream was actually the first one to pick her bed, but it was more like up in the air because no one knew because she was the first person. So.
Okay. Did you have any problems with Talone? Bernicia?
No. Me and Bernicia, we were cool as soon as we got there. Never had any problems with her. So she was actually really chill. She's pretty awesome.
What was your thought process about the whole, the shy that she puts in front of every word? Shadoras, should beat your ass. What was that to you?
I remember the first time she ever said it to me. I asked her where she was from, and she looked at me and she said, "Shadisi." And I was like, "Wait, what?" She's like, "I put a show in front of everything. It's Shadisi." And I was like, "Oh shit, my bad." It's hilarious, and you watch it on TV, and yeah, it's funny. But when you're around her 24/7, everything she says has a shut, and it's hilarious. It's
right?
Awesome.
Yes, that's my girl. Shout out to Talone. Shout out to her. So, girl, when you are around all these girls, you see their attitudes, their personalities. They want to go out to the club and all that. It seemed like you was a bit, how can I put this, in the background, like, oh, I want to go to sleep. I'm really not in the mood. So, can you elaborate on all of that and what was going on with you, girl?
Okay, so I knew. I mean, look at me. Fuck. I knew that I wasn't going to fit in with these girls. I knew that it was going to somehow turn around on me. I already knew it. So, you know what I mean? If you don't like me and I don't like you, I'm not going to continue to associate myself with you or pretend to be your friend or try to make you like me. It is what it is. It's either you don't like me and I don't like you, but I'm not going to go out of my way to make you miserable. You're just fucking there. Oh. That's how my thought process was in the beginning.
Oh, so what exactly happened that made you feel that way? Did somebody say something to you?
No, it's just more of you walk into a room and everyone just gets quiet.
Ah.
Or you walk out of a room and someone, you can hear a whisper and someone starts laughing, So it's just I'm not going to continue to sit here and pretend that I'm your friend when I know that you don't like me.
Ooh, girl, I feel you, girl. But see, this is what I was saying in my reviews. I don't know if you've been watching my reviews, but girl, I was like, I wish I would have been in the motherfucking house with her because you and I would have been cool. We would have been real trill, straight out. And if a bitch would have had a motherfucking problem, they would have got popped. Like Talone would have said, shaboot boot. Girl, so in my opinion, I was like, well, why didn't you just come out and say, well, is there a problem? What's the problem? What's going on? Why did you let that, eat you up in the insides, girl?
I guess I didn't really care.
Ooh.
I almost didn't feel like it was necessary, I guess. It was almost like every time you would try to talk, okay. When I first got into the house, the reason why me and Talone clicked so much is because we could actually have a conversation. Like what we're doing right now. The other girls in the house, they would be like, girl, your pants are blue. You'd be like, no, they're purple. And they're like, no, they're blue. Like, it was always a competition. You always had to scream. You always have to be louder. So I was just like, you know what? Bye. Like, I just didn't feel like explaining myself.
Girl, I feel you, girl. But it seemed like in the beginning, all the girls was like, oh, we want to get Kailie out the house. We want to get Talone out the house. We not really feeling them or whatever the case may be, girl. And I'm like, oh, girl, here we go again. Girls wanting to get other girls out the house because they not clicking or whatever the fucking case may be, girl. And so they start plotting, girl. They start plotting on how they going to get you out the house or whatever have you, girl. Girl, was you getting any signs or anything that shit was going to pop off?
Yes. In the beginning of the second episode, me and Talone are sitting there, and I was like, dude, I have a feeling if we go out tonight, there's going to be a fight. It was just because I could feel, like, their energy, I guess. It was just really negative energy. Like, you just walk into a room, and it literally felt like you could cut the tension with a knife. So I knew for a fact, like, they were giving us a cold shoulder. I was like, dude, something's going to happen. I don't know if it's probably going to be me more than you, so... I was ready.
Well, I want to say I have to commend you, girl, because you're a little on the scrawny side. You know what I'm saying? You know, low girl. Right? That's cute though. That's cute. So, girl, I can just see them wanting to pick on you or whatever. Girl, I was trying to figure out why you was walking around the house with the damn blanket all the time. Was it cold in there, girl? Was the air conditioner on? What was going on?
Yes, it was so cold in there. It was scary. Like, I thought it was gonna start snowing. I thought it was back in New England, so I was always walking around with the blanket. Plus, I just have a really bad addiction to blankets, and I just love them. So.
That's the first time I heard about people having an addiction to blankets, girl. Well, I mean, that's on the safe side. At least you're not shooting up nothing, girl. Are you shooting up? Do you shoot up, girl?
Like drugs?
Girl, yes, girl. Do you do drugs?
No!
Oh.
Dude, ask my doctor. I have the healthiest veins ever. I'm perfect. I smoke some weed. But that's about it.
Girl,
that's
you and me both.
Yeah, my life, so.
Right, you and me both, girl. So let me ask you, girl. I like I said, I have to commend you, girl, because when they had walked past you, all of a sudden they say it's moving day or some shit. I don't know. I would have punched her in the. What happened?
They said, "What time is it? It's moving day."
Girl.
A day isn't a time.
Oh. Girl, you better go ahead and clock their brain cells, girl. You better clock their brain cells. Girl, so they scooped you up, girl. What was you thinking when they scooped you up? Why did you start going crazy when they scooped you up, girl?
Okay, so at first, I was like, no, because I was trying to process what was happening. I knew it was coming, but it was more of like, do these people really feel so inferior to me that they can put their hands on me? You know what I mean? So it was just like everything was clicking, and I don't know, I have anxiety, so I was like just trying to take it all in before I made any decision. So I don't know. When I hit the ground, I got back up, and it was game over.
Right, girl, because then, Kailie came out to play. I was so excited. Because, usually when girls get beat up or whatever, or they get whatever handled in the BGC house or whatever, they sit there and they sulk or whatever. But, girl, you got up quick, girl. Your reflexes said, you went back in the house, girl. And then immediately you started fighting Winter. Or at least that's how we saw it on the edits, girl.
Yeah.
Girl, so what was going through your mind, girl? Was you in attack mode?
I was in attack mode. Like, I saw red. I didn't even know, but until I watched the first episode, I didn't know that fight with Winter happened upstairs at all. she walked past me, I was like, shut up, bitch, and I hit her. I don't even remember that. Like, that's how mad I was, which is actually kind of scary. I don't know. But yeah.
Girl, I wouldn't have been scared, girl. I was actually thrilled, girl, because what they had did to you made no motherfucking sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least if Winter got a problem with you, she could go what up. Or if Tabitha had a motherfucking problem, which we didn't even see how or when or where for our thought she had a motherfucking problem with you. All of a sudden, they just want you out the house. They scoop you up, girl. I could understand if they approached you one-on-one and said, you know what they had to say, but girl, they double teamed you, girl. But I'm proud of you for fighting back, girl. That was hot, girl. But then, girl, what was you feeling when all the girls all of a sudden just started throwing your shit over the banister, girl?
I think that's when I saw, like, black, because I ran up the stairs and then we started fighting in the hallway. And I did keep going after Winter, but here's what people have to understand. The way that they came at me, the way that they walked at me, like, towards me, Winter was at my ankles. She was the one who grabbed my ankles, so I'm looking at her. I wasn't even paying attention to the chick who's behind me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was just trying to, get off of her. So the whole time she dragged me out of the house, she's looking at me in my face, laughing. Like, you think that it's funny just because you're saying it's a joke, but putting your fucking hands on somebody isn't a joke. I'm sorry, it's not the way that any of this works. So I got up, and I was still looking at her, and she was the one who was about to shut the door. So I flung the door open, and I started fighting her. Like, that's just how it went down.
Girl, I feel you, girl. You don't need no explanation, girl. You could have fought her. You could have fought everybody that touched your shit and threw it over the motherfucking banister, girl. Because from what it looked like, girl, everybody participated except for Bernicia.
Yes. Yes. She was pissed. Like, she was mad.
Girl, I was mad with her, girl. And when she was telling you, don't let them run you out this motherfucking house, don't let them run you out this house, I was like, yes, Bernicia, that's what I'm saying, girl. Because, girl, that would have been me, girl. So, Ryan threw your stuff over the banister, Persuasion threw your stuff over the banister, and Z?
Z, Winter, yes. I don't even know if Dream did, but I know the rest of them did.
Girl. So you went through this whole situation. You ended up having to go to the hospital because they had, what happened? You broke something or it was bruised?
They said I, like, bruised the heel of my foot, or something like that. But I ended up having to go back to the hospital because I wasn't using my crutches. So I tore all the ligaments in the bottom of my foot. So I was, like, literally Bambi for.
Girl, fuck that whole Bambi shit, girl. I was pissed, girl. They kept calling you Bambi. Fuck that shit, girl. See, had it been me, let me just explain something to you or everybody out there in the YouTube land. Had it been me, I would have just made sure I did damage to what they did damage to me. So I would have grabbed the bat. Like Beyonce said, she called it hot sauce. I would have grabbed the hot sauce and would have commenced to busting open all their ankles. And so the producers would have said something because, that's crazy. They said they're calling you Bambi or whatever the case may be, girl. But did you watch episode 2, girl?
Yeah.
Girl, it was kind of crazy to me. Did you know that Z went to Winter and was telling her that stuff about what you had said?
The funny part is that I never said that. Winter actually came up to me when I was outside. She told me that Z had said that, and I was like, wait, hold up, Z didn't say that. And she was like, no, she did. Let me go get her. And I was like, no, I'm going to come with you. So we went inside. We both confronted Z. And Z said, no, I never said that. I didn't mean it like that. And then I watched the show, and I was like, girl, what? You apologize for everything. Like, why not that one thing? Like,
oh, girl. So Winter came to you, and y'all confronted Z, and she denied it? Oh.
Yeah. I'm not even, yeah.
Girl. So then maybe that explains why she then came to you and was like, I want us to be friends or be together. We got to be together in the house and, not fight each other or whatever. There's some shit she was saying to you, girl. That would explain why all of a sudden she coming to you trying to make peace, girl, because she was caught in a lie. Mm-hmm. Girl, hot mess. But Talon was peeping game right off the jump. And was saying that she was fake titties. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was the silicone girl. And I'm like, I understand what she's saying because we still here watching everything too, right? And so all of a sudden, Z trying to get bold Cause DreamDoll tell Z what Talon said, girl, and then Z go after Talon. What was you doing when all this was going on? Cause you came in like you just woke up, girl.
Actually, I did.
Ooh.
I was sleeping in my room. Z had actually came into my room and started flipping out and yelling at me, clapping her hands, and I looked at her. I was like, "Bitch, what?" And that's when Persuasion came in, and she was like, "No, you got the wrong girl." And they walked out, and that's when she walked into her room. Oh. Yeah, and then that's when that whole fight broke out. So I could hear the yelling, so I was like, okay, now something's going on. So I limped over there, and I just saw them going on, and I was like, what's happening? Because I literally had just gotten in a fight not even 24 hours beforehand.
Ooh, girl, hot messy. That's a hot ass mess. But Bernicia ain't that bitch. Because she was quick witty. And she got up and she defended herself. She was like, what's not about to happen, I'm going to let you know. And then, they fight or whatever have you. The security guard. Let me ask you this. How old was these damn security guards?
They were pretty old. Like, they were old. Yeah. Like, not even like club bouncers. Like, like somewhat young. Like, I'm talking like 60s. Like late 60s.
I was wondering. I was like, why is Morgan Freeman in the Bad Girls Clubhouse? I couldn't understand, girl. I was like, girl, I just saw one of his movies last week. I'm like, I couldn't understand, girl. But Bernicia runs after Z. And Persuasion tries to hold her back or whatever, and Z's down there with the igloo on her face, talking about she didn't do no damage, but she got an igloo on her face. So I was confused, girl. When all this was happening, what was going on in your mind?
I was just like annoyed and pissed off because it was like we had so much actually like going on that day with our like photo shoots and shit. We had a lot going on. Like everyone was just kind of like hanging out, so it was like. They just pulled that out of thin air. Like, they were instigating a situation that didn't need to be brought to attention. Because Bernicia, she feels a type of way about something, and she really feels strongly. She has no problem with going back to her and saying something. But it was, like, something that really small that had happened, and she just spoke about how she felt on it, and then they pushed her into saying that she wanted to fight her. But that was never the case. They just made it way bigger than it needed to be.
Girl, so let me I want to backtrack a little bit, girl, because something just popped in my brain, girl, when you said that Bernicia doesn't have a problem with speaking her mind. When we had did an interview with Winter, she was saying that you aren't an angel, you aren't innocent, and you was always causing problems with Winter. You was always speaking bad to her, and you fought her a couple times or whatever the case may be. So can you elaborate on what she had said in that interview, girl? Because I'm like, well, was Kailie a Spitfire, girl? Because, when y'all was at that little lunch thing or whatever the case may be, and Bernicia was saying how she felt about, how Winter has made that Walmart comment or whatever, and you made this statement saying, where's security? Get security or something like that. I was like, that was cute. But I was thinking, I was like, maybe Kailie do got a mouth.
Yeah. I mean, I have a little bit of a mouth. It's like, I'm like one of those people who like say things and you're like, whoa, did I really just say that? Like, I probably shouldn't have said that. So like, I've been doing the best that I can to like actually process the situation before I speak on it, because I probably would have gotten into more fights. However, that whole thing with Winter, can I like jump into the future? Can I do that?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, we had a couple fights, whatever. She ganged up on me, boo-hoo, whatever. So at the last day that I was there, we ended up getting to a little bit of an argument. We were upstairs, and I'd walked into the house, and she walked past me, and I was like, hey. And she was like, can I talk to you? I was like, what's up? And she goes, no, downstairs. I said, you don't want to talk to me right now? She goes, no, downstairs. I was like, okay. Like, I didn't really think anything of it. So I grabbed my phone list, and I was going to go downstairs to call my best friend. So I'm going downstairs. I see the camera crews, and I'm like, oh, shit, there's going to be a fight. So I walk down the stairs. Winter comes up to me. She has her hair braided. Like, okay. So I saw a video of you, Kailie, and you were talking shit about me, saying that I was hella fake, and that blood was thicker than water, and that, whatever, going so forth. Saying that I'm always trying to bum cigarettes off you, okay, because you were. That's not my problem. And she was like, next time you do it again, I'm going to drag you. I said, you're going to what? She said, I'm going to drag you. So I laughed at her, and I just went and I sat down. Because first of all, if you were a bad bitch, you would have dragged me as soon as you saw me. You wouldn't have came up to me with an intro paragraph, MLA format about what you were gonna do. You would have just done it, and we would have went toes right there and then. Sorry. And said, like, third of all, the whole thing with you making me come back downstairs is because you need a fucking audience. Every single time she does something, she needs people to be like, yeah, go Winter, like, woo! Like, why do you need that? Like, why can't you just be a bad bitch by yourself? You should have confronted me by myself when we were both right there, but you didn't. You wanted me to come downstairs because you wanted to be in the center of attention, you know what I mean? And that's how she is. So I laughed at her and I didn't fight her. And it really pissed off Talone and Ryan. But they didn't understand why I was doing it, and that's exactly why I did it. Because I thought the whole thing was a joke. Like, honestly.
Ooh, girl. All right, girl. You dropping bombs, girl. All right. Giving us the digs. Right, girl. So, we get past all this crap, girl. You know, Bernicia and Z, they have their little squabbles. The girls are kind of like controlling Z, and Z's doing whatever they want her to do, or whatever the case may be. Girl. But then they go out, they leave y'all at the house. Mm-hmm. Was you mad that you was left at the house? Because it seemed like you was comfortable in bed or something.
Hell no. I was so happy. I was like, oh shit, they left us here. Oh man, I get to sleep a little bit longer.
Right. But Z looked like she was upset, girl. But anyways, the girls. Let me ask you, was there anything that we didn't see on the cameras that she said?
Well, I guess I was already in bed when they had left me. Persuasion actually came and woke me up, said, hey, we're going to go to the strip club if you want to come. And I was like, yeah. I ended up going back to sleep. I had no intentions of going out. However, Z was in the room with them, getting ready, conversating with them. You know what I mean? And, like, then they had her go, like, look for somebody or grab somebody in the back or something, and they just dipped and hopped in the van. So they shut the door, and she started screaming. She was like, they fucking left me! And I'm, like, in my bed. I just sat up, and I was like, So I, like, walked downstairs, and I was like, what happened? And she told me, and, like, it wasn't that I was, like, laughing at the situation. I just thought it was funny because these girls literally will sit there and be so nice to your face and then just, like, turn on you and just want to fight you and ditch you, and it's a joke. It's fake as fuck. If you don't like somebody, tell them you don't like them. Sorry.
Girl, I feel you on that, girl. So then they go to the club, they come back, they pissy ass drunk. We know this formula. This is the formula in every fucking season. The girls go out, they get drunk, they come back, and there's problems. So, girl, I gotta tell you, girl, my titties was boiling, girl, at this motherfucking point. Because Winter gets upstairs. What we see is she automatically just starts jumping on your bed, waking you up, jumping on the bed, waking you up.
I didn't even know it was her. I had no idea until I watched the video.
Girl. And then all the girls get in there. See, now I want to dissect this scene. Because I know you got to go soon, but I want to dissect this scene because I saw there was a lot of editing going on with this motherfucking scene. There was a lot going on and a lot that we didn't see. So I need you to give us the real tea because, girl, from what BGCT showed us, Persuasion was in on that whole ragtag thing with you, girl. It seemed like she was pouring something on you. Is that accurate?
I hate talking about this. They came into my room and they started jumping on my bed. They ripped me out by my ankles, and then they just started, like, pouring things on me. When they poured the water, they did it twice. One of the times I was sitting down and I had turned my head, and then the other time that they showed it, I stood up and I wiped my face.
Right.
But at that point in time, like, actually, it wasn't even in that point in time. I didn't know what to do. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do yet. I mean, it wasn't my first rodeo. I have been jumped before, but not by a bunch of drunken, like, obnoxious, over-the-top, like, girls. So I was just trying to process everything once again. I don't know where else you want me to go with this fight because a lot of things happened. Like, it was really bad. It lasted, honestly, probably for, like, 20 minutes. About 20 minutes.
Girl. But it wasn't just Winter and DreamDoll. It was the other girl. The other girls was involved too?
Yeah. From what I saw, yeah. I mean, I remember, like, because it all was, like, happening. Like, I had just woke up. I remember like them dumping shit on me, and Ryan was like, Kailie, give me your hand. So I reached out and I grabbed her hand. She was like, I'm gonna help you go downstairs. And I ripped my hand back. You know what I mean? And I was like, fuck. So I just like sat there and I was like, all right, like I know I'm gonna get my ass beat. So like, what difference does it make if I start swinging? Like, what is it gonna solve? What is it gonna do? Like, I might look weak. Like I already know that I look weak, but I was feeling pretty fucking weak because my foot was already screwed up. So.
Girl. Well, I want to let you know that I'm sorry that all that happened to you, girl. I really am. But girl, you at one point you had to really realize that you was in this whack ass bad girls clubhouse with this situation going on. Season 16, girl, you didn't want to like defend yourself or like grab a bat or like run or something, girl. Cause I was just like, oh my god, girl.
I did. I ended up running out of the room and into Z's room. But Bernicia and Z were already going at it. So it was like, this was happening, and then all of this was happening, and I was just like, what the fuck? Where is help? like,
girl.
Yeah, so, I don't know. Do you have any more questions about the fight, or do you?
Girl, we can move past that and get to when you made it to the producer's office, girl. What was the producers telling you when they finally opened the motherfucking door?
Well, okay, so when we're fighting over the phone, that was our production phone. So that was the phone that we used to call them and be like, hey, we need this. So I was like trying to call them, so they didn't answer. So I went over and I started banging on the door because I was like, listen, if you guys are gonna help me, like I'm about to break every fucking thing in this house. So she opened the door and she grabbed me and like threw me in and put me against the wall and was holding me there. And she's like, Kailie, are you okay? And I literally just like had no emotion. Like I was just like, she was like, Kailie, are you okay? Like yelling at me, like smacking her hands. And I just like slid down the wall and I just started crying. Like that's like the only thing I did.
Oh, girl. Was you able to contact your stepfather when all that shit was happening?
I actually didn't get to speak. I lived on the East Coast, so when I make a phone call in California, it's long distance call, so I can't call when I'm in the hotel room. Also, I didn't have my cell phone, so I can't go and call them. So no, when you guys saw him, like in the TV show, when I called my stepdad, that was the first time I actually got to talk to one of my family members. Girl. My face was all swollen. I was crying for like 24 hours solid, so... Like, I had bruises all down my spine. I had bruises. Like, my shit was all fucked up.
Girl. So, I want to get to a lighter moment, girl. We're going to pass this shit. We're going to get to a lighter moment real quick. DreamDoll gets kicked out the house. Did any other girls blame you for her getting kicked out the house? Were they mean-spirited to you?
Z understood. Persuasion was upset, but like she wasn't really like, she didn't really take it out on me, but you could tell that she was really upset about the situation. Talone, it was just kind of like whatever for her. She started getting close to her, so it was kind of like whatever. I mean, the only one it really, really affected was probably Winter.
Okay. Okay. So what do you think about Talone's rapping, girl? You went to the performance?
Hell yeah, I was so proud of her. I was proud of her for even going like out there. I thought it was great.
Okay. And what about the new girl, Stephanie? I know she's coming in, the new girl, Stephanie. Are you cool with Steph?
Oh, my God. I love her so much. She made me so happy in the house. Like, it was like a new lights came in and I had someone to be weird and crazy with, so it was awesome.
Okay, so you're saying we get to see more of your personality because you and Stephanie gel well.
Yeah. I mean, I got drunk and made out with a couple people at the bar, but I mean, I had to the best of it. You get bored in that house. Like,
right.
At least I wasn't like sleeping with guys on national TV in front of my family. You know what I mean? It was just a couple people.
Okay. And you meet Candy in the house too, correct? No, you
I
don't.
didn't meet Candy in the house.
Oh, girl. Well, Candy seemed to be going to bat for you, girl. She seemed to be going to bat for you, girl. Are y'all cool? Y'all still talk?
Oh yeah, all the time. I actually was just texting her yesterday.
Okay. Well then, do you go to the reunion, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so you go to the reunion. Let me ask you that little beginning episode when y'all was talking about politics and tattoos and stuff. Was that y'all at the reunion?
Yes, that was before we had gone on stage. I was at the studio for, I believe it was 10 and a half hours or 11 and a half hours, something crazy like that, because my family couldn't get a hold of me. And we sat in that room, like we each had our own rooms, and we all sat there for hours. I mean, I was only on stage for about like maybe 30 minutes, but I was there for about like half a day. That's what it felt like.
Girl. Do you feel that you feel a little vindicated from being on the reunion? Do you feel like you was able to get your point across?
To be quite honest, I didn't say much at the reunion. It was like I had all of these things that I wanted to say and how I felt about the situation, and then when I actually saw the people that physically like harmed me and like like really did some horrible shit to me, it was like everything just kind of like blanked out, I guess. And Tanisha also like yelled at me, not like I don't like you, but like more of like a I wish you stuck your ground. Like I feel bad for this shit because it happened to you. So like, and she's my favorite bad girl. So I was like, oh my god, Tanisha just yelled at me. Plus I gotta sit across and look at the bitches that jumped me. So it was just like overwhelming. I don't do good like with a bunch of cameras and lights. I was like hot and cold. I was shaking the whole time because there's so many lights that the AC's blowing on you. Like shit, I don't not me that.
Girl. Is there any truth to the rumor that Tanisha got into a fight with one of the bad girls at that reunion?
um, I, I yes, yeah. She did. Apparently, she got into an argument with Ryan, but I wasn't on stage for that.
Ooh, girl. Girl, so would you ever do Bad Girls Club again, girl?
If I didn't get stuck in a house with a bunch of bougie ass followers, that went out of the way to bring people down, like I think a bad bitch is someone who fucking lifts up another bitch, you know what I mean, and like helps get their career going, like stuff like that. Not that shit. I'm not about that.
So, girl, I got this last question for you, real quick, girl, and I'm gonna let you get back on with your night, girl. What is it that you have to say to the girls of BGC 16?
Well, to Team Liddy, I love you. You guys know I will always love you. To the rest of them, karma's a bitch.
Oh, oh, girl, that bitch came out a little heavy, girl. That bitch came out heavy. All right, girl. Well, I want to thank you. Go ahead.
I like kind of want to clarify something, but at the same time, I don't. The whole thing with DreamDoll and her going home over Winter, everyone keeps asking why is it that that Dream went home and Winter went home. Dream did things to me in the fight that Winter didn't do, that they legally cannot show on TV. I never said to production, not once did I ever say to production, I do not feel safe with Dream in the house. She cannot be here. Because they would be like, okay, bitch, go home. You know what I mean? Like, think about that. That never happened. I never said that to them. She hit me with objects repeatedly. She picked up a picture frame off the wall, my picture. She hit me with it. They also hurt security during all that. They also threw things on security in the middle of that. And DreamDoll also sexually assaulted me, which I don't really want to get into detail about. Yeah, so I mean, if we want to talk about that after, that's cool. But that was something that happened, and she became a liability because of that. And legal said that she is not allowed to be here because I could have gone to the police and fucking sued everybody. You know?
Girl.
Yeah.
Girl. That is a hot ass mess, girl. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on and shedding light, girl. You just dropped a nuclear, girl. You just dropped a nuclear at the end of all this, girl. Girl, once again, I'm here for you. I'm Team Kailie. I respect the fact that you still stayed in the house though, and you didn't run off. You know what I'm saying? Even after all of that, you still stayed in the house. I respect you for that, boo.
Thank you. It was rough.
explain to the people that weren't able to understand your history with your sister, if you can give us a little brief synopsis of how you came to meet and how that all worked out for the show.
Okay, yeah, I met Asia when I was about 15. I was about to turn 16.
I was trying to hurry. I didn't know nothing. All I did was I came. I didn't want to do nothing. I was so hungover. I couldn't do nothing.
There was everything else.
Right.